Hi, I'm Nancy Lynn Ruth on blockresults.com. Facebook is still spinning, but here we are. I want to tell you a little bit about something interesting that came up this past couple of weeks. I'm actually creating a tap-along video today after I finish here um, that I'm going to send out to my MVP club. This is a group of women leaders who are really meant to be in a bigger place, on a bigger stage. And we cover a lot of ground, releasing blocks to stepping up and being bigger. Um, and we're about halfway through this 12 session group that we're doing. We're in the visibility section. There's 3 different sections. There's mindset, there's visibility, there's profitability. We finished profitability, we're now in visibility. And there is a lot of fear coming up around getting out there in a bigger way. Whether that means finishing a book or speaking from the stage or doing videos, whatever it is. There's a fair amount of fear around getting more visible. And it's interesting because often a fear that I've found with business owners, pretty much actually, if I think about it with anybody, the fears that hold us back are usually the fear of succeeding. Now, you would think it would be fear of failure. That's usually, that when we think about fear of that would be holding us back, we think, oh yeah, I don't want to fall on my face. I don't want to make a fool of myself. That's going to be what really holds me back. But usually what I found is it's the fear of succeeding. What's going to change in my life? Who's going to be upset by that? That kind of fear of succeeding is what gets in the way. But one came up recently that is very squarely in the fear of failure camp around visibility. So I created this tap along around this fear of screwing up. If I'm out there in a bigger way, I'm going to screw up in a bigger way. More people will see me screwing up and making a fool of myself, whatever. So that's what I'm going to be finishing up this afternoon. And I wanted to say a little bit about it because I've been talking a lot about imposter syndrome, and this is kind of similar, but it's not the same thing. Imposter syndrome is when you have this feeling like you're not as capable as other people expect, and you keep thinking they're going to find you out as a fraud or something like that. And I talked a lot about that, but this is a bit different. You can still have this fear of screwing up, and it can hold you back, even when you know that you're okay, you're good, you have something valuable to get out there. You don't feel like a fraud, and yet you can still be afraid of screwing up. The most interesting example of that coming up recently is a client who, she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. She's actually been out on an international stage, sometimes literally on stage with international folks there. I mean, literally on stage back before, pandemic times. But she has been speaking all over the world, and she is very comfortable doing that kind of performing. But one area that was holding her back was being afraid of having a mistake captured on video. And it's really interesting because one of the things we learn in marketing courses across the world is, embrace your mistakes. If I'm doing a Facebook Live and the cat walks past, well, first of all, I'll be very startled because I don't have a cat. But if I had a cat and the cat walked past, I'm supposed to say, that's great, that's fine, just keep moving, and allow people to see me as I am, as a real human being, not just perfect plastic talking head. So I know that making mistakes, being not perfect, is actually quite a good thing. And my client knows this too. And yet, there's something about it, making a mistake that would be captured on video for all time, that had her saying, no. I'm not going to let anyone tape these performances, these talks I give. And yet, it was time for her to do one of those that was going to get recorded. And she was a little freaked out about it. And we did a little bit of work tapping on it. We didn't get to go into it big time, which was unfortunate. We'll do some more if more is needed, but I had her do the Buddha hands, if you've ever learned that one before, before going in to give the talk. And we'd done some work on being more visible and stuff, and she did it. She did go. She was recorded, and no big mistakes. I'll just say that right out loud. Too bad, because if she'd made a mistake and then she could have had it recorded and still been okay with it, that would have been even better. But as it was, she went out and she didn't make those mistakes. And the important thing was that she got out there and did it. So where am I going with all this? I want you to know that fear of making mistakes does happen even to people who are really quite advanced in their area, really respected, really known for good work. You can still have that fear. It can crop up, but it doesn't need to stop you. Never let it stop you. No matter how it shows up, whether it's fear of making a mistake on video or making a mistake in a book. Honestly, every book has typos. It just happens, right? But we get tied up and it's got to be perfect. Don't worry about that. And if you're having trouble when you tell yourself don't worry about it, then maybe you should try a bit of tapping. It's what I would always recommend, of course. But the first thing is to know that this kind of fear pops up for a lot of people, and it's okay. It's pretty normal. The answer is to push through one way or the other. With tapping, without, I don't care, but get out there. It's important. It's important if you feel called to reach people in a bigger way, then get out there and do it, even if you're afraid of making a mistake. Okay? I think I've said enough about that for now, but I just thought that would be an important thing for us to think about now. And I'm off to go create the video, the tap along video that's going to go to my MVP clubbers, and it's also going to go into my private library for those people who do one-on-one sessions with me. So I will see you, well, actually I'm going to see you tomorrow because it's the middle of the Facebook challenge. So hope this was useful. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Happy tapping.